Never realized how peaceful Danforth Cemetery was. How pretty it is when you look at it. It sits on top of this hill. We're placing the monument for my dad today. And what's interesting is, it's a small town cemetery, Strafford. And you see the names of so many people you knew. Kids you went to school with, their parents had passed. Family that also lived in the area. My family's been here a long time, honestly, when you think about it. Going back to my great-grandparents. There's the Wilgus father. I knew him. Helvey. Trogdon. Just names you know. And this is where I've decided I'll be buried one day too. But today, we're kind of closing the book on the whole funeral burial thing. And while there's Pearson Creek down there, it's a good view of it. Never really noticed that before. Usually it's so wooded. But it's just a lot of reflection. It's been an interesting month. We've probably had some judgment placed on us that was unfair. We did what my dad wished, and we did what we had to do honorably to make sure everybody involved was not displaced by this. We've been busy. We've been fixing up the house, as you know, and we got an offer on it Sunday that we took. And so the last thing we're doing today is putting a new roof on, and hopefully it'll close on Friday. They want to close as soon as possible. It'll become a rental property. The nice thing about it is that it wasn't my house in Strafford on 708 North Washington where we grew up at. That made it a lot easier because we'd had no attachments to his house. And really it was hard to visit over there because the woman that he moved in had a mental illness and was a hoarder, and made it darn near impossible to sit anywhere, let alone enjoy time with him. So we always had to meet him someplace else. Never really felt like his house, so it's made it a lot easier, honestly. I'm not sure that it's really hit me that he's gone. I mean, there's times I want to call him and say, "Hey, Dad, what'd you think of the game?" Or, "Hey, Dad, how's it going? How you feeling today? What's going on in your world? Here's what's going on in mine." Those calls. But it's just so weird that you can't make those calls anymore. But anyway, they're going to show up here in a little bit, and put the memorial stone. We went with Womack and Womack Monuments. And I'll tell you what, they've done a really good job. So I think we showed him the memorial, I think, the day that he fell. I asked him, I said, "Hey, Dad, do you want to see your monument?" I'd kind of put it off. It's not one of those things you kind of, "Hey, I want to see my tombstone." But he was ready to see it, and I think he is very proud of it because we made it about family. we put a picture of him, my two sisters, my nephew Zach, or Nicholas, I'm sorry, and myself from our last good Christmas together. Not that this last Christmas was bad, because we did get to spend it with him, but he wasn't good. He was in pretty bad shape. It's hard to believe what a year did, especially when you look to see that, you know, looked like he was been taking care of himself. But nonetheless, we're here putting the stone, and I'm so glad that he got to see it. Now I think about it. So Womack did a really good job. I'm very happy we worked with them. But you know, this cemetery is about a mile from my house. It's where, you know, the Minguses and the Bowlers, all family are buried. A lot of them. So Dad asked to be buried by his grandparents. We had to pull some strings because this is a historical cemetery, being the old Danforth house is over the valley there, across Pearson Creek. But this would have been my great uncle, Merle Leon Bowler. This would have been a great aunt. My dad's gonna be buried right here. And these are the grandparents. They were killed at the tracks at 125 and Route 66 when a train hit their car in 1937 in Strafford. And there's my dad's cousin, Bob Mingus, who was a union leader at Zenith. Anyway, kind of peaceful out here. Just wanted to share this moment. I'm gonna grab some zoysia out of the yard in Strafford that my dad grew and plant it here in the summer, so that the grass he was always really proud of is planted on his burial site. Thought that was pretty appropriate, so I've arranged with Barb Helvey to take a little bit because it's spread in her yard. So anyway, that's what my morning looks like.